So Wuthering Waves might have a big problem in the future. If you don't know, Wuthering Waves just released their Black Shores update, which has actually been absolutely amazing, with new characters coming to the game including the shorekeeper, and also a ton of new story and new events that a lot of players have been really enjoying. And obviously people have seen this as a much bigger update than the ones we saw in the past, such as the 1.2 update, and people are very excited to see how Wuthering Waves will do in the revenue charts, in the upcoming month. Now, if you don't know what the revenue charts are, they are pretty much a massive chart, pretty much telling you how every single gacha game is doing, in every single region, and it gives you an idea of just how well a company is doing or how well a game is doing in comparison with a lot of the other ones. Now, obviously, this starts up a lot of talk and a lot of, conversation around, this game's better than this and this game's better than that, which obviously isn't true. I honestly think a lot of these games have their own kind of lane and they kind of stick to it. And I think it's kind of unfair to be comparing a lot of the massive games to some of the more lower down games and saying it's not doing good just because it's not making 71 million like AFK Journey did. And obviously, whenever I upload this video, it's actually going to be a day before the new one comes out. And I just wanted to talk about what Wuthering Waves is doing and talk about how this could affect the revenue chart kind of negatively and, why we shouldn't be too excited for this revenue chart. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it. And also go to Game Subs, use my code KAZA where you can get yourself 10% off a ton of cups and tubs. They actually have a really cool Pixel Cup event going on at the moment, so I definitely recommend you guys go check that out. It's a really, really cool design. So yeah, go down to the link below and you get yourself 10% off. But let's get back into the video. So as I was saying, this is something that's been on my mind for quite a while, is that a lot of people are going to be expecting Wuthering Waves to be doing good, right? Because, the Black Shores is coming out. We got the shorekeeper out. Surely this should get a lot of sales compared to a lot of the previous characters. Well, in my opinion, I think the revenue isn't going to go up by much, and it could even possibly go down. Last month, Wuthering Waves made 13.5 million, and the month before they made 29.5 million. And obviously, a lot of people were clowning on the game just because it lost quite a bit of money over time, and that's purely down to a pretty dead patch that we've had. And obviously, we had the patch with Yeji, which again, surprisingly, and not a lot of people were pulling on. Obviously, it seems like a lot of players just didn't want her at all, and I'm pretty sure that's the case of what we've got at the moment, as the character that came out after her was Zhang Liao. Now, Zhang Liao had a whole banner, and if you don't know, we actually got him free in an event, which is going to severely affect the revenue chart, because obviously a lot of people are just not going to bother pulling for Zhang Liao because they got him for free. I didn't pull on him. I know a lot of other people that didn't pull on him because, why would you? You got him for free. Unless you want some copies of him, then, there's no point in actually pulling for him. And I think that's going to be very reflective in the Gacha Revenue chart. Now, as I've been saying throughout this video, is that we've got the Black Shores update with the shorekeeper. Will that actually affect the revenue? I think it will slightly, but I don't think it's going to be enough to actually save it in terms of, its placement, because the Black Shores update came out on the 29th, meaning they've got 2 days to actually make some money from the shorekeeper. And obviously, usually a lot of banners last about a month or so, with people pulling on this character throughout the entire month. Now, obviously, that is a massive spike whenever the character comes out because, lots of people want them. But again, you don't have the full effect of, what the revenue is going to be like. And if we compare it to something like Xenozone Zero, which is going to be a game that a lot of people are going to be comparing it to in the Gacha Revenue chart, they are going to have a very, very good month. I'm telling you. They're going to be possibly in the 50s because they've actually had 2 character releases, which again, I think is amazing and it's great for Xenozone Zero. But obviously, we've had a pretty mid character, which, a lot of people didn't really want to pull just because of the event. Whereas they had Jane Doe come out on September 4th, which again will be a massive spike because she was a massively wanted character. But then they also had Caesar King come out the other day, meaning they've got 2 very, very wanted characters coming out in the same month, which is obviously going to blow up a lot of the revenue, which is something that Wuthering Waves don't have. So obviously I've been talking about Xenozone Zero and they're 2, really great characters in the same month. But I think we forget that we've got 2 very great characters coming up in Wuthering Waves too. Now, obviously, we're going to miss a lot of the spike coming with the shorekeeper, because the spike for the initial release of the shorekeeper will be stuck in the revenue chart that's for this month. But next month, we'll have like the kind of leftover kind of revenue from that. Now, Camellia is a very, very wanted character, especially in the Wuthering Waves community. So I definitely think that she's going to sell very well. And hopefully, we can see this boost up the revenue overall. And I think that, shorekeeper is still a very wanted character. And I think that she's going to do a very good job in terms of revenue. But I think that it being split up, across the months is going to, affect it quite a bit. I think that it might actually be all right, and we might actually see it going up in the future. And obviously, this all depends on future characters as well. We've got characters like Lumi coming out as well, which a lot of people really want. Now, Lumi, I think, we've seen with Youhu that she's going to be on a separate banner on a rerun. So we don't know what's going to be happening with that. And now actually thinking about it, we do have a rerun banner in between the shorekeeper and Camellia, So I don't think we're even going to see any of the revenue from the shorekeeper from there. So we might see some from Gion's banner, but again, I don't know how much we're going to see from that because again, it's a rerun. So I think that's some very poor kind of, marketing there from Wuthering Waves. I definitely think they should have included 2 kind of banners, but again, I don't think they really care about a revenue chart. I think they just care about, making good characters and kind of bringing them to the game at, whatever time they think is right. And I think that's definitely the right thing to be doing. And I don't think a lot of people should take this revenue chart as, a massive statement of how well a game is doing, because again, there's lots of different factors that could actually affect this revenue chart. I mean, obviously, again, as I said, the months kind of split things up, so you don't get the full revenue for one banner, which I think should definitely be changed. But again, I don't know how you could do that because it is a monthly revenue chart. But also stuff like this is only a mobile revenue chart, and not a lot of people play Wuthering Waves on mobile compared to a lot of the other games. Obviously, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zero, they are massively played on mobile, especially over in China. They, play a lot of it over on mobile. But on Wuthering Waves, there seems to be a big community for PC and people playing on PC just because of how, graphically intense the game is, and also how precise a lot of the controls are. Wuthering Waves, they have a very kind of precise control set that, if you mess it up even slightly, you could mess up an entire run, especially with the holograms, which, lots of people on PC can easily do. It's really easy to put inputs on your keyboard because, again, it's a keyboard. It's so much easier than tapping on your screen. So more people play it on PC, meaning that, you're not going to get the revenue from PC. I mean, I've never played Wuthering Waves on mobile myself. So it would be interesting to see, kind of PC revenue. But again, I don't know if that's something that they could do in the future. And also, we've got the announcement of the PS5 version, which should be coming very, very soon. So hopefully we're going to be able to see, some more stuff with that too. And I definitely think that that's going to have a pretty big, market as well. I think a lot of people are going to be playing that on PS5, especially in the videos that I've made recently about the PS5 version. I think a lot of people have been very excited in the comments saying that they're going to play this because again, not everyone has a PC and not everyone has a good enough phone to run Wuthering Waves on. So it's nice to see that Gacha Games is actually bringing out some really important updates that could, affect a lot of this revenue. And I think even with the announcement of the PS5, it could entice a lot more people to go and play it on mobile because again, maybe someone, only plays on PS5 or something, sees this game, plays it, and actually does have a good enough phone to run it, then, they might start playing it on mobile and start spending on mobile. You never know. But again, I don't think that's going to be a very big factor in, the revenue and stuff. But I just wanted to quickly explain everything that was going on with this revenue chart because I know there's going to be a lot of people in, kind of the Twitter threads, whatever, they like, Wuthering Waves is dying and stuff like that. That's not the case. It's just a slow banner. Obviously, we've seen this a couple times already, and we've seen this with other games too. Obviously, Zenless Zero lost a lot of money whenever they, after their release. So again, we do see this quite often with a lot of Gacha games. Now, is Wuthering Waves more likely to, kind of have a more filler kind of patch or whatever? Yes, I think they are. I think it's just because, they're working on a lot of stuff. We'll have to wait and see how they kind of, improve this in the future. And hey, I could be completely wrong and, Wuthering Waves could go a ton up in revenue. I don't know exactly how well these revenue charts have gone, but I just wanted to, kind of explain why you shouldn't worry about, Wuthering Waves being low on revenue or anything. And as the, developers said, they don't really care how the revenue does, as long as they have enough money to, make the game, keep releasing characters, and keep doing what they're doing. And obviously, that's up to them. If they want to make more money, then they can just make better characters, pretty much, and make, better kind of game mechanics for people to come over. And boom, they've got money. It's kind of easy for them to do that. So again, we'll have to wait and see what happens in the future, and hopefully the revenue chart turns out all right, and that there isn't any fighting. Because again, it's kind of stupid to be fighting over how much a $1 billion company makes. I don't know if Gacha Games is $1 billion, but at least Huawei. Yeah, that's about all I got for this video. If you did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do you think that, Wuthering Waves is going to do good in the revenue chart? Or do you think it's going to do bad in the revenue chart? Me personally, I don't think it's going to change that much. I think it might go a little bit down. But again, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. Something could surprise me. As I said, go over to Gamer Subs, use my code KAZO where you can get yourself 10% off a ton of cups and tubs. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.